Namadu Nasalli ala Rasulil Kareem. A very warm welcome to the Foreign Ministry briefing. At the invitation of the Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif embarked on an official visit to Malaysia from 5th to 7th October 2025. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, other federal ministers and senior government officials accompanied the Prime Minister as part of his entourage during the visit. Upon his arrival in Kuala Lumpur on 5th October 2025, the Prime Minister received a warm welcome from the Prime Minister of Malaysia, His Excellency Anwar Ibrahim, followed by a ceremony at Perdana Putra. The two leaders held bilateral talks on 6 October 2025 on a wide range of issues with a particular focus on trade and investment, climate, defense, education, and tourism to further strengthen Pakistan-Malaysia historic ties. The Prime Minister welcomed Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's announcement of the import of halal meat worth $200 million as a significant milestone in Pakistan-Malaysia engagement in the halal sector. Both leaders launched the Urdu translation of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's book, Script for a Better Malaysia, a vision built on the Prime Minister's experience in public service of more than 4 decades, with the tenets of sustainability, care, and compassion, respect, innovation, prosperity, and trust. They also exchanged views on key regional and global developments, including the situation in the Middle East and South Asia, and presented a joint statement upon conclusion of the visit, which emphasized the importance of maintaining regular high-level exchanges. Both leaders also expressed their agreement to reconvene for a joint commission meeting at the level of foreign ministers at a mutually convenient time. The leaders also expressed satisfaction with the pace of ongoing defense collaboration under the framework of Joint Committee on Defense Cooperation platform established in 1997. Both sides agreed to further deepen bilateral defense cooperation, particularly in the field of defense, science, technology, and industry through knowledge and technology transfer. Condemning the ongoing genocide in Gaza, both leaders reiterated their unwavering support for the Palestinian people's right to self-determination and for the establishment of a sovereign, viable, contiguous, and independent Palestinian state based on pre-June 1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. The leaders further noted active cooperation on key issues in multilateral fora, particularly the UN, OIC, and D8, reiterating their commitment towards mutual support for each other's initiatives and candidatures in international bodies. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif also reiterated Pakistan's strong support for Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship. Both leaders welcomed the progress made in implementing the ASEAN-Pakistan Sectoral Dialogue Partnership Practical Cooperation Areas 2024-28. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif also addressed the Pakistan-Malaysia Business and Investment Conference in Kuala Lumpur, where he invited Malaysian companies to explore Pakistan's sizable labor force, its rapidly expanding market, and its investor-friendly environment. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim also participated in the event. The leaders also witnessed the signing of agreements, MOUs, for cooperation in several existing and new sectors. The Prime Minister of Pakistan was also accorded with an honorary degree of Doctor of Leadership and Governance by the Queen of the State of Pahang, Tunku Aziza Amina Memuna of Malaysia. The visit underscored Pakistan's continued commitment to strengthening ties with Malaysia. It also reaffirmed the importance placed by both countries on working together to promote peace, stability, trade and investment, and sustainable development. On 3rd October 2025, the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, addressed the National Assembly, apprising members of Pakistan's active engagement during the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Among other points, he reiterated Pakistan's consistent and principled position on the issue of Palestine, which calls for the establishment of a contiguous, independent, and sovereign state of Palestine based on pre 1967 borders, sorry, with Al Quds al Sharif as its capital, deeming it the only viable path to a just and lasting peace in the region. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, also briefed the House on Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's bilateral meeting with the US President Donald Trump at the White House, which was joined by Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir. He noted the cordial exchanges, appreciation for Pakistan's counter-terrorism efforts, President Trump's role in facilitating the Pakistan-India ceasefire understanding in May, and the agreement to expand trade while inviting US investments in agriculture, IT, mines, and minerals and energy. Pakistan strongly condemned the interception of the global Sumud flotilla and the subsequent unlawful detention of 500 international activists on the Gaza-bound vessels, bringing much-needed humanitarian assistance to the besieged and beleaguered people of Gaza by Israeli forces, deeming it as another flagrant violation of international law and international humanitarian law by Israel. In light of this development, Pakistan Foreign Office closely monitored the situation and took all possible steps to ensure safety of Pakistani nationals aboard the flotilla, including Senator Mushtaq. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister held a telephone conversation with former Senator Mushtaq, where he lauded the Senator's courage and steadfastness for his participation in the global Sumud flotilla. Former Senator Mushtaq was released from Israeli custody on 7th October 2025 and has now returned to Pakistan. Senator Mushtaq thanked the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister for the efforts made by Pakistan Foreign Office in reaching out to him in Tel Aviv via mission of a friendly European country and for facilitating his stay and safety at the Pakistan Embassy in Amman, Jordan. Pakistan welcomes the announcement of an agreement for ceasefire in Gaza and believes that it is a historic opportunity to secure lasting peace in the Middle East. We appreciate President Trump's leadership throughout the process of dialogue and negotiations, which are reflective of his unwavering commitment to world peace. We also applauded the role of the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for their untiring efforts in negotiating the deal. We appreciate the Palestinian people who have suffered in an unprecedented manner, one that should never, ever be repeated. Pakistan strongly condemns the recent provocation at Masjid al-Aqsa. The world must hold the occupiers and illegal settlers to account and prevent any further actions that undermine the enormous efforts made by President Trump to reduce tensions and pave the way for lasting peace. With regard to Gaza and Hamas' response to President Trump's peace plan, the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, held telephonic conversations with the Egyptian and Saudi foreign ministers on 4th October 2025. In his conversation with the Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia, His Highness Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, the two leaders discussed regional developments, including the situation in Gaza, and reviewed ongoing diplomatic efforts, including engagements and consultations among the 8 Arab Islamic countries and the United States in New York, aimed at achieving an immediate and durable ceasefire, ensuring unhindered humanitarian assistance, and to secure lasting peace in Gaza. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister appreciated the Saudi Foreign Minister's continued engagement and constructive role in these efforts. They also discussed recent developments, including Hamas' response to proposal of President Donald Trump. Both ministers reaffirmed their firm commitment to the Palestinian cause, agreed to remain closely engaged with Arab and Islamic partners, as well as the international community, to advance a just, comprehensive, and lasting peace based on the two-state solution. In his telephonic call with the Foreign Minister of Egypt, the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister exchanged views on key matters of bilateral relations and regional developments, particularly the grave situation in Gaza. His Highness Prince Mansour bin Mohammed Al Saud, Chairman of the Saudi-Pakistan Joint Business Council, leading a high-level Saudi business delegation arrived in Islamabad on 7th October 2025. During their stay, His Highness and the accompanying delegation held meetings with the Pakistani leadership, including Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, and engaged with senior government officials, chambers of commerce, and leading business groups to explore avenues for enhanced bilateral trade and investment cooperation. The visit underscored the deep-rooted and brotherly ties between Pakistan and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and reflected their shared commitment to expanding economic and investment partnerships under the framework of Saudi-Pakistan Joint Business Council. Discussions during the visit focused on trade investment facilitation and collaboration across priority sectors aligned with Saudi Vision 2030 and Pakistan's economic growth agenda. On 1st October 2025, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar held a telephone conversation with the Foreign Minister of Iran. The two ministers reviewed fraternal Pakistan-Iran relations and discussed the evolving regional situation and ongoing diplomatic efforts to promote peace and security. They reaffirmed their commitment to deepening bilateral cooperation as well as their collaboration in multilateral fora. The sixth session of bilateral political consultations between the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the Republic of Tajikistan was held in Dushanbe on 29-30th September 2025. The Pakistan delegation was led by Additional Foreign Secretary, West Asia, Syed Ali Asad Gilani, while the Tajik side was headed by Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Farooq Sharifzadeh. Discussions covered a wide range of bilateral matters, including political and parliamentary ties, trade and investment, defense and security, energy, connectivity, cultural and educational exchanges, multilateral cooperation, and consular affairs. They explored avenues to enhance trade, particularly through increased collaboration in textiles, logistics, agriculture, and food and pharmaceuticals. They underscored the significance of regional transport corridors and reaffirmed their commitment to the early operationalization of CASA 1000 aimed at strengthening regional integration and energy security. Defense and security cooperation was reviewed with discussions covering counter-terrorism efforts, training programs, and exchange of visits. The consultations were held in a cordial and constructive atmosphere. Both sides agreed to hold the seventh session of bilateral political consultations in Islamabad in 2026. Ambassador Mohammad Sadiq, Pakistan's Special Representative for Afghanistan, represented Pakistan in the meeting of quadripartite group of countries comprising Pakistan, China, Iran, and Russia in Moscow, and subsequently in the meeting of Moscow format. He also held important bilateral meetings, including with Foreign Minister Muttaqi and other senior diplomats from the regional countries. I thank you. The floor is open for questions.